Okay, I want you to literally close your eyes for just a second. Try to picture this incredibly vivid, almost cinematic scene. A wounded moon, kind of scarred and dimmed out, slowly rising from the heavy dust of an ancient exile. And as it crests the horizon, its silver light doesn't just shine, right? It actually begins to pulsate. It actively expands, pushing back the darkness of millennia. Well, we are opening today's explainer with a profound verse from Isaiah that is deeply, deeply explored in the mystical teachings of the Zohar. The verse is, Hine yaskil avdi. Behold, my servant shall prosper. But as we're about to see, this isn't just about some historical figure. No, this is about the very fabric of our universe.
Welcome to the Cosmic System Restore. Today we are decoding the ultimate repair of our spiritual universe, and we're doing it by diving into some of the most profound ancient texts ever recorded. It is this sweeping, epic narrative all about exile, fragmentation, and the triumphant return of a light that has been literally hidden away since the dawn of creation. If you've ever looked around and felt like, the world is just fundamentally broken or like it's operating on a totally corrupted hard drive, well, the ancient mystics absolutely agreed with you, and it turns out they actually left us the blueprints for the reboot.
So here is our roadmap through the Pardes, the mystical orchard. We're going to hit 6 distinct stages today. First, the lunar server down. Then exaltation, behold my servant. After that, ascending the patriarchal dimensions. Then we'll look at red judgment, white mercy. Next up is cosmic engineering and gaming. And finally, the final system restoration.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the lunar server down.
To really understand the stakes here, we have to look at what the Zohar teaches about the lower holy presence. This is the Shekhinah, which is often represented mystically by the moon. And right now, it's currently exiled and totally fragmented. So that wounded moon we pictured earlier, it's not just a nice metaphor. It represents a reality that is fundamentally out of alignment. To grasp this sod, or hidden secret, I want you to think of the Shekhinah like a tremendously powerful lunar server. And right now, that server has been knocked offline. It's suffered severe fragmentation, scattering all its data, its divine sparks, all across the physical realm. So what it desperately needs is a full system restore, so it can sync back up with the upper cloud, the infinite divine light. Basically, all of human history, all of our spiritual efforts, it's all essentially one massive troubleshooting process. We're just trying to gather those fragmented packets of data to bring the lunar server back online.
Moving on to part 2, exaltation. Behold my servant.
Now, the amazing thing is, we aren't left without a diagnostic manual here. The ancient prophets actually embedded a patch right into the text itself, Hine yaskil avdi. According to the Zohar, this isn't just beautiful poetry, it's a rock-solid diagnostic guarantee. What's so fascinating when you really look at the text is that it promises this wounded moon, the lower holy presence, will absolutely rise to royal illumination. It guarantees this radical shift from a state of deep, painful hiddenness into a state of expansive, sovereign light. The servant mentioned here, that's that diminished lunar presence, and its prospering is its ultimate exaltation and repair. So the system, it's definitely not going to remain down forever.
Which brings us to part 3, ascending the patriarchal dimensions.
So you're probably wondering, how does this sync actually happen? Because the lunar server can't just magically jump from brokenness straight to perfection, right? It has to be systematically rebuilt. Well, it turns out the Zohar maps out this heavily encrypted network using Sephirot, or spiritual dimensions. The moon has to ascend sequentially through this exact circuitry. First, it syncs with Abraham, which represents Chesed. That's the dimension of pure, infinite kindness and expansion. But pure expansion is way too chaotic on its own, so it then has to pass through Isaac, or Gevurah. That's the dimension of restraint, boundary, and discipline power. And then finally, it arrives at Jacob, which is Tiferet. Tiferet is the dimension of perfect harmony, truth, and beauty, successfully blending that expansion and restraint together. This right here is the ultimate spiritual circuitry.
Now, this ascent features 4 massive steps embedded directly in the text: Yaram, Vinisa, Vigava, and Me'od. That translates to elevated, lifted up, highly exalted, and beyond standard measure. Think of this as a literal staircase of spiritual elevation. The moon climbs up through Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferet, and then, boom, it hits Me'od, the ultimate beyond. It breaks through the standard matrix entirely and plugs directly into the highest unfathomable source of the upper cloud. It's truly mind-blowing.
Let's look at part 4, red judgment, white mercy.
This highly structured ascent actually builds into a stunning transformation that permanently patches the fragmented system.
In mystical texts, you'll often see spiritual forces color-coded, and here we are dealing with the intense red of judgment versus the brilliant white of mercy. So, the red side? That represents severe fragmentation, harsh decrees, and the burning heat of spiritual exile. But through the ascent we just mapped out, this intense red is plunged right into the spiritual fire. It's an alchemical process, really, where the heat of devotion actually transforms the elements. The red is perfectly sweetened. This is a concept called the sweetening of judgments, until it literally turns into the brilliant, pure white of infinite mercy and silver lunar fullness.
10. That transformation powers the 10 Sephirot. See, this isn't just some localized quick fix. It ensures that all 10 dimensions of reality, all the way from the highest conceptual crown down to our physical, earthly kingdom, are entirely bathed in this new, sweetened white light. The entire operating system is completely cleansed of its corrupted, red, fragmented code.
Okay, let's head into part 5, Cosmic Engineering and Gaming. Because this material is incredibly dense, it's a lot to wrap your head around, let's break down how this actually applies to us today. Whether you're 8 years old or 80, this cosmic process is happening all around you. For the youth tuning in, think of this like the ultimate video game. You are literally leveling up through the dimensions of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're gathering the lost sparks to unlock the final boss stage, where you finally repair the realm's broken core and restore the silver light to the kingdom. And for the adults, you can look at this as high-level cosmic engineering. Our spiritual actions are quite literally realigning this Sephirotic circuitry. We are fixing the structural integrity of the 10 dimensions and resolving the binary fragmentation of the universe. We're bridging the gap between exile and redemption. It's a huge deal.
And finally, part 6, the final system restoration.
Everything we've discussed today culminates right here. We transition from the first era of exile and hiddenness, move through the active second era of sweetening the judgments, and then the final hour strikes. What's absolutely incredible here is how the Zohar profoundly links the repair of the moon to ultimate physical renewal. I want you to imagine the graves opening. Imagine the literal return of light to physical bodies. The dust shakes off, and the fragmented data is fully restored to its hardware. And as we enter eternity, the lunar server is fully synced, and the Shekhinah is crowned once again in absolute, perfect silver fullness. The glitch is fixed forever.
This is the true, deep meaning of the text. The total sweetening of judgment doesn't just, make us feel better. It actually triggers a cosmic physical resurrection and the permanent return of the silver light. It's the ultimate repair. A time where all fragmentation ceases, all binary conflicts are totally resolved, and the lower holy presence is exalted, elevated, and lifted up beyond all measure forever.
So if the ultimate repair of the universe requires gathering lost sparks to bring the system back online, what fragmented data in your own life are you being called to sweeten and elevate today? It's something to really think about as you go through your week. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.